Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the SEL Day celebration. I'm Dr. Kevin Briggs, the Professional Learning Managing Coordinator at the Center for the Promotion of Social and Emotional Learning in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. And I'll be guiding our sessions today. We are broadcasting 7 10-minute sessions every hour on the hour from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Sessions so far have included Systemic SEL 101, What is SEL? Stress Mitigation, Resilience, and SEL. Those 2 sessions so far. Remaining sessions include Trauma-Informed Practices, Building Rapport, Adult SEL Skill Building, School Climate and SEL, and Integrating SEL into Academics. For this session, we will focus on trauma-informed practices. Professional learning sessions focused on trauma-informed practices have been in high demand since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Adults and children spend an inordinate amount of time isolated in their homes, which led to an array of social and emotional challenges, sometimes even including trauma. As a result, a significantly high number of people can benefit from trauma-informed practices. As you can see in our overview, today we'll be having an introduction in this session. We'll be looking at SEL competencies that are relevant to trauma-informed practices. We'll focus more specifically on structure and predictability, have an activity, and then we'll close. So for review, the 5 SEL competencies as proposed by Castle are self-awareness, self-management, responsible decision-making, relationship skills, and social awareness. Trauma-informed practices as a topic is well situated within relationship skills and social awareness. Essentially, we're hoping to build a sense of safety and trust, socially and emotionally. Therefore, the 2 competencies mentioned are most appropriate. When working with trauma, whether it is our own or another's, the first priority is to create a safe place, certainly physically, but also both socially and emotionally. Oftentimes, trauma emerges from chaotic environments that are characterized by a significant amount of stress. And as the American Institute of Stress explains, stress is essentially the feeling of having little or no control. So we want to mitigate that feeling. That is our first priority. The good news is we can do a lot in our personal lives and in educational settings to create a stable environment. The starting point is to create structure and predictability. A consistent structure frames behaviors, activities, and purpose. It is a way of doing things, perhaps standard operating procedures. Predictability is simply the quality of knowing what's coming. If we know what to expect, we can settle into that knowledge, and so long as our environment aligns with those expectations, we can feel more safe. A predictably safe environment may take some time to get used to, but it has a cumulative effect. Over time, we can begin to trust it. For our activity, we'll reflect on structure and predictability, both regarding ourselves and our environment. Take a moment to consider both from a personal perspective. How is your life structured? How predictable is your life? What's more, how can you help to cultivate structure and predictability in your life? Hopefully you have something to write with, whether that be an old-fashioned pen, pencil, and paper, or perhaps you have your phone and you take notes on it, or you can send yourself a text message. Perhaps you're sitting there or there on your computer and you can write something down in your computer. But whatever the case, please write down or at least think about one way you can positively impact structure and predictability in your life as a private citizen, your personal life. How can you positively impact structure and predictability in your life as a private citizen? Please write down one thing, perhaps one thing for both or one thing overall. Next, take a moment to consider both. and as they pertain to your school or classroom. This can be whether you are a student, an educational professional, a parent, or some other member of the community who is somehow involved in the school. How structured and predictable is your setting in that environment, your school setting? How could you help cultivate structure and predictability in that setting? Again, please write down or at least think about one way you could positively impact structure and predictability in the school or in the classroom. Take a few moments. When you're finished writing down how you can positively impact structure and predictability in the school and or in the classroom via your role as a student, professional educator, parent, or other member of the community, please feel free to share with someone close by if you feel comfortable doing so. This kind of reflection and discussion is something we can readily do as we get started with trauma-informed practices. It's one thing for us to think about something like structure and predictability as it pertains to us as individuals, as private citizens, and in our personal life. It's another thing to think of structure and predictability as it pertains to us in our educational setting. But then it is another thing to discuss it with others and come up with collective understandings, even if just to gain other perspectives and learn what other people's experiences are, which, by the way, is the gateway to empathy. Take a moment or two to finish your discussions. All right, if we were in person, I'd be asking everyone to share out, but since we're in this format on this particular day, I'll just say thank you so much for joining us for this installment of our SEL Day celebration, Trauma-Informed Practices. We hope you benefited from this session and can continue to join us in our collective pursuit of the SEL competencies. For more information about SEL and ways to cultivate it within your organization, please visit us at www.selforpa.org. You can also reach us at www.sipsel.org, where you can find out information about SEL trainings and the 2023 National Social and Emotional Learning Conference being held May 15th to May 17th in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Have a wonderful day.